Oops, yeah. Up off that. What's up, my people? Just came back from the gym. Hit the shower real quick. But many of you guys asking me about those fights mandated by the WBC. Of course, I'm going to tell you what I think. Well, this is mostly to do with Cruz versus Shakur Stevenson. WBC mandating that fight so the winner can take on the winner between Lomachenko and Devin the Dream Haney. Let me get my water. But there were a few. We both know about we all know, about David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. And that was mandated. And it looks like they're going to fight. They were saying January, but nothing has been completely official other than the fact that they both signed their contracts. We know about Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder versus Andy Ruiz and all those boys. I mean, there was just a lot of mandated fights. Keith Thurman versus Errol the True Spence, that was a biggie, okay? And people are saying, well, if Errol the True Spence is going to fight Keith Thurman, how is he going to not? They're wondering about the franchise title, right? Is Errol Spence going to request for that? But let's talk Cruz, Shakur Stevenson. That's a biggie. I'm very excited about that mandated fight. I want to say this, too, before I get started on how I see that fight. I think Shakur Stevenson would win. Okay, I think Shakur Stevenson would beat Cruz. Let me say this again. I think Shakur Stevenson would beat Cruz. I know we have people that get very, very sensitive on topics like that. And when I start discussing and giving an analysis, they can't wait for me to finish before they start losing their minds. So I'm going to start there. Now, let's do this like Quentin Tarantino. I think Shakur Stevenson will beat Cruz. Let's start at the end. Now let's go back. Go back to the beginning. Let's work back. First of all, will the fight happen? I think it would. I think if it didn't happen, if it doesn't happen, rather, it would be on Top Rank. More so, Bob Arum, more so than PBC. And I'm gonna tell you why. And notice I didn't say it would be on Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. You saw him on Twitter. He tweeted that he wanted to get busy. That he said he was locked in. The fighters usually want to fight. And the thing is, a lot of times when you don't give the fighters a fight, they get in trouble. These fighters, AB said it himself, hey, you got to get me a fight or I'm going to get in trouble. All right? You're born fighters. These fighters are different type of people. Okay? With that said, I think it would be Bob Arum, if anything, because Bob Arum has this plan of Devin the Dream Haney versus Lomachenko and then giving Shakur the fight. Against the winner between Lomachenko and Devin the Dream Haney. The thing is, the WBC has mandated Cruz and Shakur Stevenson. And when they mandate things, it doesn't mean it always happens. Here's why I think PBC would throw Cruz out there. If you notice, I'm just going to say this. I usually don't bring up racism. But if you notice, with the PBC, Hispanic fighters get busy. Cruz being one of them. Brother, Tank Davis fight once a year. Errol the True Spence once a year. Most of these fighters, Hispanic fighters get busy. Fighters like Fernando Martinez, Ray Vargas, David Benavidez. He just fought Lemieux. He's going to be fighting Caleb Plant, they say, in January. Fundora. Carlos Adames, Andy Ruiz, he's going to fight Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Bomb Squad, Deontay Wilder. Now that he's back, he's busy fighting Robert Helenius and then Andy Ruiz. What I'm saying is, a lot of these fighters, I know I have, but King Kong Ortiz, they get busy. And Cruz being one of them. I see them throwing Cruz out there. How I think that fight would go. Listen, let me put it this way. We know Shakur Stevenson is a Class A fighter, okay? The best you're going to get. Shakur Stevenson, not only does he have the great technique, he has innate IQ, the type of IQ that you don't teach, the type of IQ that you're born with. Shakur Stevenson is a natural. Natural greats, they are the very best. You don't teach Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson, how to box. You can't teach Sugar Ray Robinson how to be Sugar Ray Robinson. They're Floyd Mayweather. You can give people the tools, and a lot of people try to do the Philly Shell, but none of them is Floyd Mayweather. A lot of these fighters, Sugar Ray Leonard, Willie Pep, a lot of these fighters who are natural, Gene Tunney, natural talents, Roberto Duran. You only get one of those, all right? Shakur Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson, I'm sorry, is one of those to me. With that said, for me, the best way to beat a guy like Shakur Stevenson is if you are a natural hammer. Think about it. Floyd Mayweather, who gives him the most troubles, right? Maidana, okay? Those type of fighters. Cruz being what he is. This sledgehammer who's a crude fighter with heavy hands, who's winging the type of punches that you shouldn't be throwing. Those are the type of punches that's very hard to dodge. The best way is to intercept his punches with punches of your own. But he has this hard brick head, chin down. He has sneaky defense. I mean, he is the perfect type of guy that would give a great, technically sound, gifted fighter like Shakur Stevenson issues. Cruz will give anybody issues. You saw what happened with Gervonta Tank Davis. And I want to bring this up. Shakur Stevenson is a better boxer than Gervonta Tank Davis, slightly. He's slightly better. I think he's slightly slicker, rather. Slightly tighter. And you would think, well, if Gervonta Tank Davis beat Cruz practically with one hand towards, down the stretch, you think, well, Shakur Stevenson will smoke him. Not exactly. See, Gervonta Tank Davis, you gotta, when people talk badly about opponents, you take away from the guy that you're fanboying for. And I'm talking about Gervonta Tank Davis fans. Cruz is one hell of a fighter. I figured that out. I didn't know that at first. I thought he was going to get destroyed by Tank Davis. I found that out. He got my respect. I learned something. Tank Davis has the explosiveness. He has the power with the slickness. His explosive, one-of-a-kind power. If you want to talk about the top punchers in the world, he's on a short list. Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the best punchers in the world. On top of that, his explosiveness. What he did with Cruz, not too many fighters can do. Not too many lightweights can do. Gervonta Tank Davis has that thing that Shakur Stevenson doesn't have. That ability to explode, right, with quick twitch muscles and the power, the type of pop to hurt Cruz. Because I think Gervonta Tank Davis was stinking him when he was hitting him. I thought it was going to go, if he could have stayed healthy that fight, I thought Gervonta Tank Davis had a good probability of stopping him. Let me get my room temperature. I did. Even the night of the fight, I was saying that. I think he can stop him. Here's another thing. Shakur Stevenson's just not moving to 135. He's big for 130. Cruz is big for 135. I know he's short. But those bones, this musculature, how the type of tank he is and how he's built, it's hard for him to make 135. So you got a guy who is a block, who sometimes you cannot, I'm not sure when you look at Floyd Mayweather, what he went through against the Maidanas of the world. I'm not sure if you can just out-slick him without feeling his pressure, feeling his power. I do have Shakur Stevenson beating him. I'm saying that is a very entertaining fight. That is something that boxing enthusiasts, they salivate over. Styles making fights. Two fighters on totally different sides of the spectrum. You got Shakur Stevenson, the slick fighter, the technically sound fighter, the boxer. And then you have Cruz, the tank, the savage, the brawler on the other side. Perfect for boxing enthusiasts, people like you. And I would love to know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll tell you this. Cruz isn't an easy win for anybody. It would be a hard fight. I think Shakur Stevenson, is a savage up here. Though he doesn't necessarily fight like Mike Tyson. You could be a savage without. Sugar Ray Robinson was a savage. Sugar Ray Leonard was a savage. You could be a savage without being a brawler. I think Shakur Stevenson is a savage. I think he is locked in. I think he is psycho like that. With his abilities and what he brings to the table mentally with his mental strength, that will give him a bit of an edge. But Cruz, he's going to have to be convinced that he cannot keep pressuring Shakur Stevenson. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. Shakur Stevenson's feet isn't going to be enough. It's going to have to be his size, as far as his height and reach, and some stinging power to discourage Cruz. Showbiz, but don't let me know how you all feel in the comments below. And I'm out.